breaking free from smartphones. She was absorbed in her smartphone. Her focus was on conversations with someone else or old photos from the past. Although she kept talking to me, her heart seemed to be somewhere else. The salmon meunière on the table was mechanically lifted to her mouth. If I asked her about its taste after leaving the restaurant, I doubt she could describe it in detail. The dish in front of her was merely a side note to her distant conversations and memories. I too was just an accessory. Feeling a strange kinship with the salmon, I quietly savored my own meal. With smartphones everywhere, I've noticed how they dull people's attention and affection for the present. Even those who love us can be carried away to distant scenes. It became unbearable to see the value of the here and now being dismissed. So, I decided to let go of my smartphone. If I was going to give it up, I wanted to make it dramatic. I took a train to a river during cherry blossom season. The petals danced on the water's surface. Among the crowds of people enjoying watching cherry blossom, I stood on a bridge and threw my phone into the river with all my strength. The device, filled with memories and connections, sank into the cherry-colored stream. I felt as though the crowd was watching this scene. First, messages stopped coming. It was obvious since I no longer had a way to receive them. I could have contacted people using a public phone, but I didn't remember their numbers. They were all stored in my phone. For the first few days, I felt restless without it. Before, whenever I had free time, I would glance at my phone. Now, I chose to either enjoy doing nothing or pass the time by reading. I always carried a book in my bag. I also started going out more. I've always been curious about the world, so I began exploring trends by actually walking through the city. Before, I was content to search online and didn't bother seeing things in person. I also used to research restaurants on my phone before deciding whether to visit. Without that option, I chose places based on their appearance or the people coming in and out. It felt like my senses were sharpening. One day while walking through the city, someone called out to me from behind. "You don't have one either, do you?" It wasn't immediately clear what they meant, but as a reader you can probably guess. Confused, I ignored the person and tried to keep walking. But he persisted. "A smartphone. You recently threw yours away, didn't you?" Curiosity got the better of me and I turned around. A short man stood there, looking up at me with a sly expression. His gaze was unsettling. "What do you want?" I asked. "I can tell. You got rid of it, right? Would you come with me?" Why would I follow a stranger who randomly approached me? I'm not a child. I refused, but then he pulled something from his jacket pocket. It was my smartphone. The stickers on it made it unmistakable. "How do you have that? Did you find it?" "If you come with me, I'll explain." With that, the man walked into an alley. He acted as if he knew I would follow. Frustrated but curious, I decided to go after him. I needed to know why he had my phone. The man entered a building at the end of the alley. He didn't look back once, as if certain I was following him. I stepped into the building and eventually arrived at a room. Inside, there was a massive pile of smartphones, stacked higher than I could count. The man turned to face me and smiled. It was an unpleasant, twisted grin. "Watch closely," he said. I'm about to burn this mountain of phones. Before I could ask why he would do such a thing, flames erupted. The smartphones were quickly engulfed. Though the fire made it hard to see clearly, it felt like countless memories were being destroyed before my eyes. Like colorful butterflies, the remnants of those memories fluttered toward the ceiling.